Hey folks, let's have a chat about a more serious topic today. Those stupid mini tank snorkel scuba bottle things. The mini tank scam. So I have gotten emails a number of times for these stupid companies that do the stupid little compressed air mini tanks that you can dive around on to like promote their product. They'll send it to me for free if I make these videos and promote them. So let this serve as my exact opposite, my rebuttal to any of these brands, because absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not in 1,000,000,000,000 years. And quite frankly, I don't think I've ever seen a diver promote these products, and if there are, shame on them, because they should know better. If the professionals and the actual beings in the industry are telling you in masses that this is a bad idea, it's probably because it's a bad idea, right? I don't think I've seen anyone who's actually in the industry ever be like, this is cool. It's people who don't know any better. It's people who are dumb and exploiting people who don't know any better. And I understand when people don't know any better, because if you're not within the realm of scuba diving and stuff, I certainly wouldn't have known any better if I wasn't an avid scuba diver either. Like, of course you don't know any better. That's why I'm making this, because I want you to know that this is so, they're like preying on you. They are using gross negligence to sell a product to make a buck. And I don't appreciate it. I don't. I also want to make this because when you go to those accounts, they have a gross amount of followers. It's so disappointing. And they do their absolute best and work their absolute hardest to block, delete, and like remove any talk about the concerns that the industry has for these things. Short and sweet, if this is as far into the video as you get, don't. Stop, run, go the other direction. Do not endorse, do not use, do not buy, do not support. That's the summary of it. But if you want to know just a handful of the reasons why these things are so dangerous, so bad, so irresponsible, and just downright dumb, then I'll go over them for you today. I guess let's hop right into it. The first, biggest, and most obvious, like, safety blaring issue with these tanks is that the market audience is people who are not scuba certified. The people that they're marketing towards and the people that are buying these products are those who have absolutely no training in breathing compressed air and the dangers and the risks that are involved with breathing compressed air. With scuba training and with proper understanding of safety measures, you can absolutely breathe compressed air very safely. But that's just not the reality of the people that are buying these products. Additionally, I had a friend who mentioned that she gets calls at the dive shop a lot for these products, and they're trying to buy them for their children, which is even more terrifying because, like I said, the safety risks of it, like even adults could make these mistakes very simply. But even worse if you're throwing this on a child who is just, of course they don't know any better. And of course people who aren't trained to scuba dive don't know any better. That's kind of like this whole problem here, is that you wouldn't know any better. The reason why this is so unsafe and the safety precautions you have to consider when you're breathing compressed air is, number one, being like you cannot hold your breath. And that's something that you probably or might not know if you haven't gotten scuba certified. When you're freediving or snorkeling and you do diving down and you take a breath at the surface, you hold that breath, you go down, the only option you have is to exhale. So you're either coming back up with that same breath or coming back up with less. right? If this is like your lung, I'm trying my best to explain this in a cohesive manner. I haven't taught in a while, so stay with me. This is your lung capacity. You take your breath to your lung capacity, you go down, you come back up. You are still, once you're back at the surface, at your normal lung capacity. When you breathe compressed air, you take a breath, you go down. You're pressurized, your lungs then squeeze. You're breathing air, pressurized air, and then when you go up, it expands. And it can expand beyond your lung capacity, which can pop your lung. Super dangerous, obviously. Like rule number 1 in scuba diving is never hold your breath. But if you're not trained, how the heck would you know any better? You're going to pop a lung, just, you held your breath a little bit, not thinking about it, because you're like, I'm diving, I'll reserve a little bit of the air by, holding my breath until I need it. And you're diving up and down. No. So not only are there huge safety risks involved, but also there's just a massive amount of false advertising happening in order to sell these things. So they claim to give you up to 10 minutes of breathable air, which I call huge BS on. If you're diving down on it, again, your air's going to compress, okay? So that 10 minutes of air at the surface is not 10 minutes of air once you dive at depth and the air compresses. The farther down you go, the more compressed your air gets, the faster you run through your air. 10 minutes is probably pretty unlikely once you're under. Not to mention when you're a new diver and you're not used to breathing on air, you tend to consume air faster than somebody who is way more trained in diving. I am giving you anywhere between a couple minutes to maybe 5 minutes of diving time on this tank. It's pointless. So your abilities as a human just holding your breath can very well reach what this tank can do. So just take a freediving course. Learn how to extend your bottom time, your breath hold, so that you can go and just freedive down, and it'll be way safer. Not only that, but it also, a lot of people feel a whole lot of self-accomplishment from that challenge of learning how to hold your breath longer and staying under longer. It's a new skill to learn, and it's a very freeing feeling when you don't have equipment and you just on your own are kind of just going underwater and kind of being one with the underwater world. The next thing that they say is that you can pump it up. I think they sell an actual electronic pump or some kind of powered pump, and then a manual bike pump, glorified bike pump essentially, to refill this tank. And here's the issue with that. 1, air quality. What is your air quality on some third-party, drop-shipped, mass-produced bike pump or little electronic pump pumping into your tank that then you are inhaling directly into your lungs? Yikes. And who's maintaining that? You now, I guess. There's no regulation on it, right? So, when you go to dive shops and things like that, there's maintenance requirements on these kinds of equipment. When you just sell some kind of janky thing, there's zero regulation on that. So, is it good, clean, and maintained? I don't know. Probably not. I doubt they give you any sort of maintenance requirements for changing air filters or anything like that. They probably don't sell replacement air filters. So even if you wanted to replace your air filter, you'd probably have to go dig up the part on, again, some kind of, you know what I mean? We're just getting into issues. Air quality. What is it? Don't know. Doesn't seem great. Also, manually pumping up a tank, a pressurized tank. Now, I'm not aware of all the ins and outs of bike pumps, but in my mind, there is no way that you have the strength to pump a tank to the pressure that the little breathable tank would be full. it's going to get harder and harder as you pump. How are you pumping that at pressure, right? Even they claim that it takes 20 to 30 minutes to hand pump this thing back up. Who is spending 20 to 30 minutes hand pumping up a little snorkel bottle and then jumping in being like, yeah, let's keep diving? You're gonna be pooped. You're gonna be kaput. Also, it's probably hot outside. Sweating, tired, you're gonna be over it. There's no way you're hand pumping this bitch up. You're just not. On the most recent ad of these that I saw come across my page, if this little bottle itself wasn't a terrible, scary death trap on its own, they paired it with one of those full-face snorkel masks. Pardon? Excuse me? No. No. Those full-face snorkel masks, there's no way to clear your ears. You can't reach your nose to block it or plug it up that I'm aware of. It's my understanding that you can't. So it's a stay at the surface type of mask. What's the point of the little tank? Because once you dive down, you need to be able to clear your ears. So you would only be able to dive down just shallow enough that your ears do not feel that pressure. And you're just snorkeling. It's just snorkeling at that point. So what are we doing here? That scuba tank thing, dangerous by itself. Those snorkel masks have also killed tons of people because they're hugely problematic. Combine the two together, what are we doing? Please don't. Spend some time in the water, in a pool, in a calm, safe environment with a professional who can help you perform these sports safely. Yeah? Woo! Okay, so number 1, lung expansion issues, breathing compressed air. Number 2, the 10 minutes, probably not happening. Number 3, you're not pumping this thing up. Air quality issues, the actual physical ability to do it, questionable. Number 4, the snorkel masks, that's a whole nother issue. Stay away from it. All in all, don't use these. Just scuba dive. Just free dive, just scuba dive. Just snorkel to pump up. That child crying, I don't know if you can hear it, but it is exactly how I feel. You and I both, my guy. You and I both. Direct message to the companies. A, good luck emailing me and getting any sort of response out of me. B,